Hello people of the internet, it's Amanda, and for today's video we're gonna be talking about Kurosagi's latest trailer, teaser, spot CM, whatever you want to call it. This one is a lot longer than the ones that they've been releasing initially, so that's a reason why I wanted to make a video about it. I was planning to wait until they release a longer length teaser or trailer for the entire series, but I figured, you know what, since we already have something going on here, so might as well just talk about that as well. Now, this was released in TVer last night and I saw it, and then now they released it on TBS official YouTube channel, so I'll be putting a link to the trailer down in the description below for you to watch. But basically what we're gonna do is to break down some of the things that we see on the trailer, as well as share my thoughts on what I think is gonna happen in the pilot, etc., all those other things, and just a general reaction in terms of what I think of the trailer slash teaser so far. So let's just go ahead and do it. Now, let's start off with the first part of the trailer slash teaser. So here we see Kurosagi with his different disguises. Some of these were shown in the special sneak peek that they had a couple of weeks ago, but then some of these are quite new. So we see him sporting different hairstyles, different looks, and here he is in his actual apartment. Character also earns a living not just through the clients that he gets for helping them with the scam cases that he takes on, but he also is a landlord of a pretty shabby but kind of okay type of apartment complex. Here he introduces himself as Kurosagi, and based from some clips that were revealed a couple of weeks ago, so he's introducing himself to the character of Tsurara, played by kuroshima Yuina, who is his female lead of sorts in this drama. Now, I say of sorts because their dynamic is definitely very complicated than your usual romance couple, so we're also gonna be diving deep into that later on. So here we see Tsurara's character, who is very righteous. She wants to be a prosecutor. She has a strong sense of justice, and then her just calling him out for, you know, the things that he's doing, finding out that he's actually a swindler and all that. Katsuragi-san. Then some of the other characters that are going to be involved in both their characters. And then for Tsurara, so she's talking to someone on the phone, telling them that, you know, this entire swindling someone or fooling someone is not good. It's also a very similar dynamic, whether or not you're doing it for a different purpose, but just basically swindling someone, even if they're also a swindler, is totally not right up her alley, and she's totally against it. This one, so we see Kurosagi being angry at someone, asking someone to tell him probably the truth about the situation or anything. And then this one, kind of really funny, with Tsurara trying to tell Kurosagi off, but then obviously he's not listening to her. One of the probably more comedic parts, which I think is very, very interesting to see, that they're going to have these lighthearted moments as well. And then at the end of it is this spliced montage of Kurosaki just saying his his signature line, which is "I'm going to devour the white swindlers who swindled you." Again, this is more of not really a sequel or anything like that, but it's really a refreshed take on the story. The pilot episode will feature how him and Tsurara will meet, and it's because Tsurara's father will get into this swindling business that Kurosaki will step over and to try solve everything. Tsurara at first will be very, very frustrated about, you know, finding out how Kurosaki plans to deal with the situation, but then eventually her character is going to be detrimental in terms of making things a little bit more complicated for him on the emotional on more of the emotional side of things, and also just the general just his general viewpoint for everything. And yeah, now based from here, so Sho already talked about it in different interviews, where just in the pilot episode alone he will be doing a number of disguises, which will be very, very interesting to see, and some of them we've already seen in this particular trailer. Another thing that I'm really happy about just looking at this trailer is seeing his dynamic with Tsurara. It seems like, you know, they're already going to have like they're going to build up the conflict right off the bat in the pilot episode, which is very, very interesting. And I think what plays off as a massive thing here is we learn from Kurosaki's backstory that because his family has been the victim of swindling, and at the same time because the situation of Tsurara, it's very much similar to his, where they're at the same age. The family dynamic is, it's also like his father who got swindled back then, who got their entire family into trouble. And so with Tsurara's father also falling into the same fate, despite the fact that it's not exactly the most similar situation, definitely strikes a nerve, a personal nerve. And I think the pilot episode will definitely be very, very interesting. Other things that I've noticed from this trailer is they're definitely gonna play off like a lot of emotions, not just a very one-note take on the character. They're not gonna play him off as someone mysterious or anything in the first couple of episodes at least of the series, but they're just gonna jump right into it, where we've seen the more playful side of him, the more stern and angry side of him, and all of those things. So I'm really just excited to see all that. I think one of the things that I keep replaying yesterday was this part right here. There's like a strong emotion that the plot calls for. He really delivers in that aspect, and he's talked about in recent interviews how challenging the entire situation is. But it definitely comes off differently on screen, and I guess that really helps that he's really into collaborating with like the directors and talking to them as to what works for the character and for the scene. And I think that's really good. Looking forward to when it comes to this one is how they're gonna balance off, you know, this like cold, distant aspect of his character versus the more, and how nuanced would the disguises be, because of course, like, even if he plays very different characters, but then at the same time, to the very core of his character, like, where's the differentiation going to happen when it comes to him just being Kurosaki and the actual Kurosagi, and then the other disguises as well. So I think it's a very complicated thing, and I understand, and it's definitely one of the most challenging things that I'm really excited about. And another thing is, I mentioned this in my Tsukiyomi video, which I posted just recently. I'm really curious about the dynamic that they're gonna do for Tsurara and Kurosaki's character as well. I've rewatched the 2006 version recently. I did a video on that as well, and the build-up for their characters, like, it just ended up with Tsurara seemingly just pining over Kurosaki over and over again, and it's definitely one of the things that I really want to change for this particular version. And from what I'm seeing so far, I'm really liking the dynamic between Yuina's Tsurara and Sho's Kurosaki, simply because they seem very antagonistic of each other already right off the bat. And there's definitely some strongness and sternness in Yuina's character that I'm really liking, the way that she makes the identity or the personality that makes Tsurara really believable on screen. And I'm just really excited as to like how they're gonna play things off, especially since their relationship supposedly is something that's very angsty, but it didn't really translate that well in the 2006 version. So I'm really hoping that since they keep on talking about this, like putting emphasis a bit as well on the romance relationship of these two characters, I'm really looking forward as to how they're gonna really go for it without really compromising the other elements of the series, because they also talked about how this is gonna serve as like a completed version, since the manga is already over, where there will be a confrontation between Kurosaki's character and Mikimoto, who he blames for what happened to his father and his family. So yeah, there's definitely a lot. Like, this is just a 33-second teaser slash trailer, but there's already so many things that I'm really loving about this one. It makes me like every single teaser that they release, I end up just falling in love with. It's because there are things that I really am liking about the mood and everything about what I'm seeing on screen, and it makes me look forward to the series. And I just really hope that it lives up to the hype and the expectations. And yeah, and again, really excited about these character dynamics. Again, really liking this entire mood that they have going on, where, you know, like, it's not just, even if Tsurara's character finds out about Kurosaki's backstory, I hope that it doesn't just, you know, her character doesn't just collapse because of that, but it definitely would cause this emotional grip and just strain between the two of them, because I absolutely would love to see that angsty side of that contrasted with the even darker atmosphere and narrative that Kurosagi has. So yeah, now expect more videos like this from me as we go through, you know, the series, and I might do bonus videos as well in between of me doing episode videos. Now, this is really a drama comeback that I'm really happy about, despite the fact that there are many expectations of it. I mean, I'm not really a huge fan of just remakes or sequels or anything like that, especially when it comes to super hyped about titles, similar to how Kurosagi was. But because of the concept, because of what I'm seeing, it really made me anticipate this project a lot. And I don't know, I'm just definitely just so focused about this project right now. So yeah, that's it for today's video. Tell me in the comments below, what do you think of the trailer, the characters, anything that you're expecting from the series? Like, have you seen the other versions, manga, or all of those things? Tell me down in the comments below. I would love to just chat it out down there. And then if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and you would want to hear more from me, please hit subscribe. Thank you so much for watching this video, and looking forward to chatting with you again soon in a new one.